Hey guys. There, okay, the lighting's gonna stay the same. The lighting goes weird in here. Um, so it's cold where I'm living now. A little bit dressed up for the cold. So I wanted to talk today about some spiritual stuff that I have learned over the years. If that bores you to tears, it's okay. You can just get on out of here. Um, I've had near death experience and everything else, and I know that's too woo woo for some people. And people who say that's too woo woo for me are really too fucking stupid for me, you know? Because woo woo isn't necessarily stupid or invalidating when you've had real experience with it. So, I'm going to tell you a story about an old friend of mine who died when he was 90 years old. His name was Bill Doherty, and he was the mayor of Newtown, Pennsylvania, twice, once as a Republican and once as a Democrat, and he worked for AT&T all his life. And he was one of my best friends. And I used to go have happy hour with him. I met him when he was 86 years old. His wife's name was Rose, and he was one of my best happy hour friends. He drank about I don't know, six, maybe seven vodka and grapefruits with a little salt on the rim every single day of his life, including probably smoking about a pack and a half of cigarettes a day. Viceroys. And he never had any problems from any of these things. Um, he was hilarious, and he would listen to all my problems. And he the name of that drink is a salty dog, by the way, grapefruit and vodka with the salt on it. um, what was really hilarious too was that he the viceroy stopped making his cigarettes, so he actually outlived the cigarette company. I just thought it was hilarious. He says, Honey Badger, my cigarette company stopped making my cigarettes. Now I got to smoke these old Bronco things." And I was like, "Dude, you just outlived your cigarette company, man." He was hilarious, and he knew things. He didn't need tarot cards or future or whatever, and he wasn't super religious. He hated doctors, though. He didn't want anything to do with those mofos. And he really never had any major problems his whole life. He had a good life. His wife Rose was okay with him going out to happy hour and hanging out with all his friends because friendship was important to him and is important to me as well. Real friendship, nothing fucking lurid. Okay? Friendship. All right? Now, he told me once, this is a spiritual thing. He said, I'm going to use my screen name, obviously, not my real name. "Honey Badger, I want you to know something." And he talked like this. "I want you to know something. You're not going to be able to be there for me when I'm dying. You're not going to be able to do it. It's okay. I want you to know it's okay. I don't want you to be upset." And I was like, why wouldn't I be upset? I mean, excuse me, but why wouldn't I be there for you? You're my friend. He had all sorts of young girlfriends picking him up from the doctor and everything else. He was hilarious. Um, but I said, why would I not be there for you? And like months went by, and I was like, what is he talking about anyway? So I got to figure out what the hell he's talking about here. And I pressed him and pressed him. I said, why on earth wouldn't I be there for you when you're dying? I mean, come on, you're my best friend. And he said, because you'll be in jail. And I was like, what on God's green earth am I going to be in jail for? And I had no idea. I wasn't in trouble of any sort. I haven't knock on wood, been in jail my entire life for anything. Maybe drunkenness in college, but that was it. Well, you party in college, there you go. But yeah, so lo and behold, when he was dying of prostate cancer, which had nothing to do with his lifestyle, he still had about 7 vodka and grapefruits every day and probably a pack and a half of cigarettes, and still had no major problems. Had the prostate cancer, and actually he probably could have fought it. He was 90 years old, and he decided, he said, no, I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to go into hospice. I've had the best life I could possibly have, and I've done everything I wanted to do. And Honey Badger, you tell them all. I did whatever I wanted to do. And I said, okay, And I was just absolutely, I said, can't you do anything about this? Is there anything different you can do? And he goes, no, you can't do anything about it. You got to accept it. I'm still, struggling here, going like, whoa. Okay, because some stuff, not all stuff, is set in stone. This is what I figured out from this lesson. When he was in hospice, I'd gotten a ticket. I didn't get arrested for it. I'd gotten a ticket in Florida for less than a joint. We barely had any weed left, and this stupid cop busted us for less for a joint. Me and my old professor from school. It was unreal. They treated us like we had murdered somebody. It was absolutely terrible. So I violated probation, because that's where they get you. And they put me in jail for 22 days over violating probation over this stupid pot charge. Yeah. So, lo and behold, while old Bill was in hospice, I couldn't go see him. And I was absolutely devastated about having to go to jail for, hopefully the one and only time in my life. My goodness. But it was true. I really couldn't go see him. And he saw it from that far away. And I wasn't in trouble for anything at the time. So, just want to show you the lesson here that some stuff is set in stone, so to speak. Some stuff is already there for whatever reason. I learned a major lesson there, because I always felt like I could change things, and maybe I can sometimes, but sometimes you can't change things. Sometimes you can. It's up to you to decide, I guess. But I thought it was a really excellent lesson, that some things will just be the way they are. And he just accepted it. I was like, wow. Really, really blown away by what he had told me. So, thought you guys might enjoy that story. I'm thinking about that today. Thinking about old Bill and his big lesson. And yes, he was the mayor of Newtown, Pennsylvania twice. Once as a Republican and once as a Democrat. He was hilarious. Have a good evening.